Hey everybody, welcome to another Adventures with Paul. Today is new bike day. Got myself a new Specialized Diverge and we're out today to get some first impressions on it. Hey, PSA, well this is an Adventures with Paul episode. It's more about my impressions of a new bike and see how it operates. First impressions on this Future Shock, which gives kind of some sort of damping on the front end. It's working pretty well. I'm only going over these boards on the Big Creek Greenway, but it seems to soak up a lot of the vibration or resonance that it has. I thought the Future Shock on the front handlebars would take some getting used to with the play going up and down, but I set it right at the middle of its shock absorption assistance, and it's pretty good. It's kind of taken some of the sting out of the concrete and the wood on the Greenway. I have to get used to Shimano's drifters again. I'm coming around corners and I'm tapping the wrong lever because totally forgot that the entire brake lever moves if you want to shift up. So whoops. Gonna give you a little background. It's not like I'm a professional bike reviewer or anything, but I've been riding for a while. I've been riding a Merlin road bike since about 2000, and then I got my gravel bike in 2017, and that's what I normally use for my adventure trips. I'm still getting used to the Shimano style of brake lever shifters. I got campy on my road bike, and then I got mountain bike shifters on my gravel bike. When I first started out on the bike, the brakes were really spongy, and I was like, uh-oh. But my memory was from SRAM Apex 1, where the brakes were always pretty damn spongy. But these things, after bedding them in, maybe about 9 miles, these things are gripping pretty solidly, so Paul's a happy boy. This is an offshoot of the Big Creek Greenway. You just go up and over the Greenway and you're back into some other trails here. Much smaller, but tighter, but it's pretty scenic. And you got a pavilion, so pack a lunch. Some thoughts on the gearing. This bike is a 2x11 rather than my normal gravel touring setup, which is a 1x11, which is really nice. I like the simplicity of the 1x11. I only have one hand to deal with. So the gear ratios are tighter on this bike, which means I can shift more frequently and I have a greater range of gearing options. One of the good things about living in Georgia is it's 2/3 of the way through November and it's in the 70s, so I'm in a t-shirt riding my bike. Love it. I wanted to give you some first impressions on my new bike. So looking at the Future Shock, this thing does soak up the bumps. My hands do not feel as stored. Normally on my flat bar, even with the ergon grips, they tend to get a little bit nummy after a while. Just one thing of note, I got the 2023, which has the GRX group set on it. It's got the 2x11 and a GRX rear derailleur. Okay, well let's say this is shakedown cruise weekend, because I'm out on the second day, Sunday, on the bike after making some improvements to it yesterday. I did some measurements between this bike and my Merlin road bike and made sure that the distances with the saddle height and my reach were basically the same, to where the cables were slapping against my handlebar and making an annoying tick tick. I put a little adhesive pad there so it's going to absorb some of that tick tick and not make that noise. I swapped out the saddle. My sit bones still kind of feel where the saddle tortured me yesterday, but saddle is all a personal feel. So I put on a Brooks cambium, which I really liked on my road bike. And I also added the panniers to get a feel for how they operate on the bike. So looking forward to a long ride again today. Well, kind of in the home stretch here, heading home on the greenway. I sometimes forget what a gem this greenway is, even though it just passes through a lot of suburbia, but it's very rural, very tree lined and very quiet off of the beaten path with vehicles. So I'm gonna have to do an adventure on it in the next month or so. Get out, maybe do some unimproved campsite camping and see how that goes.